Hello, everyone, and welcome to this interconference matchup between the University of Maine Farmington Beavers and your Husson University Eagles. It's senior day here at Newman Gymnasium. And Sam, we've got an exciting one today. We've got the two top teams in the NAC conference facing off, both riding a 7-1 record in the NAC. As we're getting down to the end of the season here, this game has a lot of playoff implications.
Oh, absolutely. And these two teams know each other so well. They've had so many battles in the past. Their last three games have been decided by literally 13 points. Last season, the Eagles got the first win in Farmington with an 88-80 victory, an 88-80 victory, and then the Beavers came right back. They got a 49-44 victory here in the Newman, and then in the playoffs in the quarterfinals, it came down to the wire. It went all the way to overtime, but the Eagles came away with a big-time win, and that had everything to do with somebody who the Eagles are so excited to see back today, and that's the All-American, Riles Neff.
Yeah, not sure that we're getting feedback here. Yeah, Riles Neff, one of those players that we've talked about a lot. He missed 3 games. He's the leading scorer, averaging 16 points per game, and they are so happy to have him back. What he's able to do on the court, Coach Warren Caruso talks about it all the time. In his 2 years at Husson, he has become the superstar of this team. He and Jeremy Maranta have really been those two guys who elevate the scoring and the offensive unit for the Eagles. So they are certainly excited to have him back.
Yeah, no kidding. And of course, going back to that semifinal game last year, it was the two-headed monster of Neff and Maranta that completely changed the game for the Eagles. Last year, Neff had 16 points, 8 rebounds, 4 assists, and 3 steals. And, of course, the dagger 3 to bring the Eagles to North Atlantic Conference Finals. But Jeremy Maranta really turning heads. 18 points, 14 rebounds as a 6'1" guard from Brooklyn, New York. Coach Caruso mentioned it during the senior day presentation that pound for pound, Jeremy Maranta is one of the best rebounding guards, not just in the NAC, but in the entire country as well. So expect both those guys to be heavily involved early on as this game progresses.
Jeremy Maranta under the net is lethal. We've seen it all the time. Offensive, defensive rebounds. He and Neff are going to be two players that these Beavers have to figure out how to play effectively if they want to come away with the win today. We're going to send it down to our PA announcer for opening activities in the national anthem. We'll be right back on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. And welcome back to the Husson Eagles Sports Network. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Sam Miller for this interconference matchup. Let's go over the starters real quick. For the Eagles, it's a senior day lineup with Jeremy Maranta, Riles Neff, Hamza Abdul-Rahman, Scott Lewis, and then rounding it off is freshman Connor Heald. For the Beavers, it's Dylan Griffin, Simon Chadbourne, Brock Flagg, Gabe Machad, and Will Harriman rounding up for the Beavers. Sam, an exciting game is about to start here. Opening tip-off, it will be Lewis and it will be Harriman at the line. For first place in the NAC, they're off. Heald will get the rebound off the tip, and Maranta will get things started for the Eagles. Dishes it to Neff. Neff finds Abdul-Rahman, who slips and loses the ball. Heald gets there. Abdul-Rahman able to get the ball. Scott Lewis now from the perimeter, driving inside, fakes, and has it blocked, and it's heading back the other way for the Beavers.
Yeah, good heads-up play from Dylan Griffin. Saw Lewis cutting right to the paint, got to his sweet spot, but Griffin, the great reaction play.
So Harriman now pressured on defense by Abdul-Rahman. Machad gets it down inside, under the net, no good. Abdul-Rahman with great defense.
And that's what he does for you, Abdul-Rahman. Doesn't see a lot of minutes, but impacts the game in so many different ways.
Speaking of impact players, Maranta and Neff out there passing the ball around to each other. They get it to Heald. Maranta back at the top of the key. Right wing, driving inside. Stops, gets it to Heald. And they're going to settle down a little bit. Abdul-Rahman bounce pass inside to Scott Lewis. Lewis, spin move, another spin, up, under, and in for Scott Lewis on senior day, getting things started.
Fancy footwork from Scott Lewis. We saw last year in the semifinal round, Griffin and Lewis went back and forth with each other, and we're going to see a lot more of that today.
We see Beavers now with the ball. Gets it to Chadbourne, who misses the shot. Uncharacteristic shot missed from Chadbourne.
Yeah, Chadbourne is a sniper from downtown. He will make you pay with even the littlest amount of space.
And you see this pressure from the Beavers defense is on. Maranta somehow gets that one to go! Oh my goodness!
Jeremy Maranta with the hang time.
Maranta was horizontal in the air and still got that shot to fall.
Be like Mike. No, I want to be like Maranta.
Maranta, also a senior, a graduate student actually. Blocked! Scott Lewis with 2 blocks in a row. Maranta down the court. Maranta for the layup. And it's 6-0 Eagles early on.
Scott Lewis looking like prime Hakeem Olajuwon early on in this first half. Gets revenge on Griffin for the first block. Chadbourne with the rebound. Lewis says, nah, not in my house. And the Eagles are rolling to start out.
And the Eagles start off with a 6-0 run. They come out firing in the first 2 minutes of this one. Oh my goodness, and there's a timeout called by the Beavers. Obviously, after that kind of run, you need to try and regroup, Sam.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles have come out and they've played it exactly right, coming out with intensity, ferocity, and velocity. They are really not making anything easy for the Beavers. And the Beavers so far playing really good defense, but the tough shots by Lewis and Maranta really just, they're unaffected by the defense right now. And, of course, that's really attributed to the character that both those players have, just being able to stay calm, cool, and collected when bringing the ball towards the basket with someone like Griffin in the paint. And the Eagles right now, a quick start, and they're rolling.
And so the Eagles will try and get, or the Beavers rather, will try and get things rolling. Here's Griffin playing kind of outside right now. Full court pass. Harriman gets it up to Flagg. Flagg is going to try and drive inside. He'll dish it out to Machad. Machad, air ball, saved by Flagg. And Chadbourne, also air ball. Maranta with the board. And these Beavers cannot get anything rolling. Connor Heald had the screen set for him, chooses not to take it, drives inside, a few different spin moves, and gets that one to fall. Oh my goodness, the interior moves of this Eagles offense are on display early.
I mean, Connor Heald, as soon as he got that starting nod from Coach Caruso, he has shown why he is such a dynamic player, just making plays in and outside of the paint, grabbing rebounds, shooting timely shots. He's such a great player for this Eagles team.
Chadbourne trying to get something going, gets it outside, and that one's no good from Harriman. And Neff down the court is going to settle it down. Maybe a smart decision. Scott Lewis fakes the three. Lewis sets the screen for Neff, who then takes the three, and no good from Neff on his first three-point attempt. since being back.
Yeah, the Eagles just really finding their groove on offense to start out. They're 4 or 5 from the field, and the Beavers so far just not really anything going for them. 0 for 7 from the field, 0 for 3 from 3. It's going to take a lot more patience and a lot more intensity to match the Eagles in a game like this.
So and Griffin finds Zach McLaughlin, who just checked in for Will Harriman. He's trying to make moves inside, and that one's intercepted by Scott Lewis. Down the other way, Scott Lewis has it stolen by Griffin, recovered by Heald, and now they'll settle it after a wild sequence right there. Lewis trying to out-muscle Griffin. He won't this time. Heald at the top, Neff on the wing. Neff will drive inside, tries to get past some defenders. That one's tipped up a little bit, and Neff looked like he might have got hit in the face right there.
Yeah, a lot of contact on that play. Nonetheless, it's going to go back to the Beavers.
McLaughlin finds Griffin, and Griffin gets it to go and one as he looks out into the crowd, maybe hoping to silence them as they get their first points on the board.
Yeah, beautiful find from McLaughlin. Found a cutting Griffin with the mismatch on Maranta. Maranta, a bit too much contact. Griffin got whacked as a chance for a three-point play.
So Griffin will head to the line. The Beavers this season, 70% from the line, kind of middle of the pack there for the in the NAC conference as far as free throw percentage goes. He gets that one to fall. Still waiting for the score on the update on the scoreboard, and it's passed around offensively. Abdul-Rahman back in. Scott Lewis hands it off to Neff. Neff fader. Oh my goodness, he gets that one to fall. He was almost behind the net, Sam.
And that's just too easy for Riles Neff. Even with the smallest amount of space, he will turn around and make you pay from anywhere on the court.
And this game already off to the start we thought we might see. Griffin from 3. No good. And Maranta comes down with the rebound. Finds Lewis. Lewis will not try and also shoot that 3 against Griffin. He'll instead drive inside. Dishes it out to Abdul-Rahman. Left wing now is Neff. Using the pick from Lewis, gets it to Heald. Heald with a nice move. Had his defender lost. Will decide just to drive to the net. Pass it outside. Maranta. Maranta driving under. Lewis now from 3. No good. And rebounded finally by the Beavers.
Yeah, really good body control by Chadbourne to just come away with a rebound. Knowing that the Eagles are playing with a lot of intensity right now, just trying to slow things down, take control of the game, and just find their rhythm and find their pace.
Chadbourne's trying to find something. Here's McLaughlin. McLaughlin, shot's no good, off the mark, and rebounded by Maranta, given to Neff.
Yeah, 1 for 10 start for the Beavers. That's not going to cut it when you're playing with against a team like the Eagles, who just can explode at any given moment.
Abdul-Rahman, 3, good! Hazma Abdul-Rahman hits from 3, and the crowd loves it.
And you see his brother on the sideline getting hyped for Abdul-Rahman in the corner. Abdul-Rahman, a fan favorite. Coach Caruso called him the heart and soul of this Eagles team since coming here to Husson, and we showcase why right there.
Drive inside, pass outside, and that one's no good. The shot from number 24, Braden St. Pierre, who checked into the game. Abdul-Rahman's got it again. This time decides to give it up to Lewis. Lewis looking for options. Finds Heald on the right wing. He'll drive inside. And that one's knocked out of the hands, but a foul on St. Pierre.
Yeah, notice how Lewis, every time he gets the ball on Griffin, he's either going one-on-one or he's looking for a 3. He likes the matchup with Griffin despite Griffin's size on him. It's going to be very fun to watch. Those two big guys go back and forth and battle in the paint.
And so Jason Reynolds will check in for Griffin, giving him a break. So you wonder if Scott Lewis will try to take advantage of this, as he's still in. He's matched up against Reynolds. We'll see if they try and get him the ball. Not necessarily a mismatch, but the size is there. Maranta, a hook shot and a little bit of contact, falling over each other. They give each other a little love tap. And here's Chadbourne. Chadbourne trying to get his first shot of the game to go. He's been heavily pressured all game, and that one doesn't fall. That one seems like a gimme for him. It does not find the bottom of the net.
And still really struggling on the offensive side are the Beavers. Just have not been able to find any sort of rhythm. Give credit to the Eagles defense for making the Beavers so uncomfortable.
And they sure have done that so far, Sam. Maranta from 3. Bang! Jamie Maranta pours it on as the Eagles have hit 3 3-pointers to start this one off.
Wow. I mean, if you're the Eagles, you couldn't have gotten a better start than this. Against your conference rivals, as McLaughlin gets it to go, just your conference rivals coming in and shooting lights out. And Jeremy Maranta, of course, doesn't matter where he is, he's money on the court.
And on senior day, it's 16-5. With just over 12 minutes remaining, we're going to go ahead and take a quick break. Don't go anywhere. You're watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Back now, Eagles ball off of that Maranta 3. And then McLaughlin answering back with a layup of his own. And entering the game now, a few different players for this Eagles squad. And that one's no good. And rebounded by the Beavers.
Yeah, Tope Alau checking into the game. And Max, our first broadcast together up here in the booth, Tope Alau made his Husson debut and completely changed the momentum of the game as Reynolds gets it to go. His defense, his verticality, his hustle, and his athleticism completely turned the tide. Of course, the Eagles still lost the game, but it really showed all of us here in the Newman, especially Coach Caruso and the Eagles, that they found a rising star in Alau.
Alau has been lethal from pretty much everywhere on the court. Anything you can imagine. It is Maranta. Maranta steal, puts it up, and no good. He misses the layup, and rare mistake from Maranta.
Yeah, you saw him clap his hands and roll his eyes. He really wanted that one to go.
And that time, left wide open was Jason Reynolds. And then foul from the Beavers. We talk about Tope Alau. My sheet here is wrong. He doesn't wear number 41. He wears 30, so I was looking for that. Tope Alau has been an impact player for this Eagles squad since his freshman year last year. And like you said, there was a game last year where we couldn't believe what he was doing in crunch time as a freshman, and now that's kind of what we've come to expect from him.
Yeah, he's part of that. He's part of that young foundation that is full of so much promise and talent, along with Andre McCauley, of course, not playing in this game, along with 33 Dylan Burpee seeing some action here too, and Connor Heald, Jay Higgins, as the Eagles get a steal. It's part of this really deep Eagles team.
Alau helps get the turnover there, and then Maranta pretty obviously fouled. And so it'll be a side out. And Heald will check back into the game, this time for Riles Neff, to give him just a little break here. It's important you get those starters a break, especially when you're up with a lead right now. You can kind of give them some rest. And that one, no good from Hinkie.
Yeah, Henke will shoot without zero hesitation on the court, and he is really one of those streaky shooters for the Eagles. He'll have nights where he'll knock down 2, he'll have nights where he'll knock down 3. It doesn't matter where he is, he'll make you pay from beyond the arc.
And this one from McLaughlin is good. McLaughlin from 3 brings it within 6. So now you start, if you're the Eagles, thinking about what you got to do defensively because they've come away with some points now.
And that's credit to Coach Newton and definitely talking to his players on the sideline during the timeout, saying that they got to match the Eagles' intensity with some intensity of their own.
Alau driving inside. He's grabbed multiple times. Doesn't matter. He gets it to fall. Tope Alau right on cue.
Too pretty for Tope as always. It just seems like it doesn't matter how much contact it is. So calm, so strong in the paint. Does not matter. It's always going in.
I mean, they were pulling his jersey, and he still got that one to go. Alau gets off. McLaughlin shoots. No good that time. And Alau will take it down the court. You don't see him playing the point all too much. He is right now. And that one's given to Burpee and stolen by McLaughlin. McLaughlin down the court, up and in. And this game's back to 6, or back to 4 rather.
Yeah, Burpee was riding his hip all the way down half court.
Allow spin, fade, good. And we're seeing his offensive impact felt early in this one, Sam.
Yeah, already for Allow, he's 2 for 3 to start out this game. 4 quick points on 2 straight possessions. As Flag's got whacked by Heald.
Yep, Flag went for the shot. Heald came in swinging. So he'll draw the foul. He'll go to the line here. Again, about 70% shooting are the Beavers from the line this year.
Yeah, and Brock Flagg is the name I wanted to bring up. We talked about it during pregame of how every time he plays the Eagles, he always plays so well. In a losing effort in the semifinal game last year, he had 12 points, 4 rebounds, 2 assists. He was 3 for 7 from the field, 2 for 3 from three-point, and he just hit those timely shots when the Beavers needed them most.
So Dylan Griffin finds his way back onto the court, as well as Scott Lewis. So they recently checked in Hinkie, and 1 of 2 is flagged from the line on that trip. And Allow will get possession at the top. He'll get it to Lewis. Lewis to Heald. And finally to Maranta, back to the top with Allow. And Allow maybe wants that one-on-one. He loses control, luckily, right there. Able to pick it up as Hinkie. And rebounded off the missed shot by Harriman, who's back in the game.
Yeah, Lewis, again, he will shoot. 0 hesitation out there as well. He's not really a dynamic shooter, but he can make you pay if you leave him open enough.
So Flag now trying to get the offensive momentum rolling. He dishes it, and that one's up and missed by Harriman, rebounded by Lewis. And they have some opportunities here, Sam. They're just not capitalizing. Here's Hinkie. 3, no good. Rebounded by Harriman.
Yeah, the Beavers have had a lot of good looks to start out in this game. And whether it be an intimidation factor from the Eagles' defense or just the intensity they've been playing with, the Eagles, it seems like they've been able to alter every single shot that they've had.
So let's see what they dial up here. Maybe trying to get Dylan Griffin a little bit more involved. Here's McLaughlin. Shoots it from 3, no good. Rebounded by Maranta. They're heading back the other way. Allow now. Driving inside. 3 defenders. And I think they're going to say on the court foul here.
Yeah, Allow trying to use that speed advantage on the stronger Griffin on the play. But the thing with Allow is that he's just so fast and is so shifty on the court is that even if you make one small mistake on defense, he will blow right by you and make you pay.
He will make you pay. That is exactly where I was going with that. He is just a pain, really, for any defense who has to play against him and any offense. He is a two-way player. He is the definition of a two-way player, and he's a valuable asset of this Eagles squad. Maranta tries to shimmy, gets it to Allow. Allow jumps high to get it. Allow driving inside. He'll shoot, and that one's no good. 1 of 2 misses from him so far. He has 2 baskets already in this one. Griffin going to try and get inside. Nice spin move, but he loses the ball. And possession will stay with the Beavers.
They got a foul on Lewis trying to go for the steal on Griffin. From up here, it looks like he got a clean steal, but I guess the referee saw a little bit too much arm, so it'll be side out.
I think he had his arm pulled, and that's why he lost the ball on the rip there. And that one's no good from Chadbourne, who's really struggling early on.
Yeah, Chadbourne 0 for 4 to start out.
Heald misses that one. Yeah, Chadbourne not off to a good start. He'll get the ball here again. You know, the Beavers know if they can get him going, they can start pushing the momentum. And that one's lost inside, that time by number 45, Mashad, who will have the side out here. And a few different fouls have resulted in multiple opportunities for the Beavers. Griffin will just take it from 3, and no good. Almost went in. Maranta down the court now, trying to kind of start that momentum back up. He loses the ball, and Chadbourne dishes it inside, and that one from Harriman, no good, or Flag rather, no good. And more fouls this time will go against the Beavers.
And this is just what we expected from these two teams, these two conference rivals. Scrappy play, extra physical as always. They're fighting for every loose ball, fighting for every rebound, and it's been a joy to watch so far.
Well, and it spans more than just these two teams, right? It's these two teams within this conference. On the women's side of things too, we saw a very physical game from them, bodies on the floor a lot, lots of tough, aggressive play inside the paint. as we have a timeout here. And this game is panning out to be exactly what we thought it would be, Sam, between these two top dogs in the NAC Conference.
Yeah, I mean, the Eagles started out so on fire from everywhere on the court. It started out 4 for 5. Calmed down a little bit now, only 9 for 22, 40% from the field, and 20% from 3. The Beavers have done a very much better job later on in this first half, just adjusting to the Eagles' pressure and responding with a bit of their own. As we got a 7-point lead right now, and the Beavers not shooting particularly great, only 20% from the field, 9% from three-point range. A lot of inefficiency on that end. But if we know anything about the Beavers is that they're not a team to count out by any means.
No, and they're playing pretty well on the defensive side of the ball now. They had that first run by the Eagles that really kind of surprised them, I think. But since then, in this second part of the first half, they have done well defending both Maranta and Neff and have kept their eyes on Lewis, who hasn't really been a huge impact player so far in this one.
Yeah, Lewis with 2, 1 of 4 from the field, but 7 rebounds. And Maranta, ultra efficient, 3 of 5 with 7 points and 6 rebounds of his own. Very much could have a couple players having some double-doubles at the end of this game.
And so how will the Eagles respond? We'll see. A low from 3. Good! Tope Alau gets that one to go. And just like that, back in the 3 column.
Smooth like butter from Tope Alau. Just zero hesitation from the 3, and he's having a really great start to this game.
McLaughlin drills a mid-range shot as a answer back. And so now some aggressive defense needed from the Eagles. Surprised not to see them pushing that perimeter. They're kind of allowing those shots. Maranta dishes it to Alau. Will he take it again? No. Gets it to Lewis. And Lewis fakes the handoff, spins inside, foul, no good, but 2 shots coming up.
And Lewis really loves that left-hand block. We've been seeing him go at Griffin. He tried to use his pivot foot and get better positioning for a nice little fadeaway jump shot. We see that a lot from Kristaps Porzingis in the NBA on the Boston Celtics. Scott Lewis is one of the best in the North Atlantic Conference, just getting to his spot and drawing fouls.
There is such thing as out-muscling your defenders, and Scott Lewis may be one of the best at doing that in the NAC Conference as he misses his first.
And that's really hard to do against a player like Griffin, who is so big and so strong, and he's just so impactful in the restricted area. So Scott Lewis really just showcasing his worth, and of course his inspiring story told by Warren Caruso during the senior day presentation. He's really been through a lot as a player on and off the court. We want to give our condolences and a very big thank you to Scott Lewis and the rest of our seniors for everything they've done since coming here to Husson University.
Scott Lewis will take a seat on the bench now as he went 1 for 2 from the line. And yes, a very inspiring story. He thought maybe he would never play basketball again. Comes out and has become one of the best players for this Eagles squad. As that one from McLaughlin, he finally gets one to go. Chadbourne rather, gets that one to go. As his slow start, maybe seeing a turnaround here. He's guarding Heald. Heald fakes him out and gets it to go, and 1. Connor Heald, the freshman, having his impact on this one as well.
And a roar to the crowd after the big, tough finish. Connor Heald telling him, "You're too small, get in the weight room," and there's a chance for a 3-point play.
The bounce a little Kawhi Leonard-esque, had to wait on that one to see if it was going to fall. Ultimately, it does. And so a chance for a 3-point play, and that one's no good. So a 2-point shot cannot cash in on the and 1 opportunity.
Yeah, going back to Chadbourne, what you said about his shooting, how he struggles. If there's anything we know about a good shooter is that eventually it only takes 1. And if Chadbourne gets going, like you mentioned, Max, it can completely turn around this game for the Beavers.
You could say it's in the blood for those shooters. It's eventually going to catch up with them. And side out here, rolled out of bounds off the Beavers. So Eagles ball. But yes, you knew Chadbourne eventually was going to hit his mark and have his impact on this game. They're going to try to get it to him a little bit more. Here's Alau. Alau one-on-one under the net. Out muscles and puts it in. Tope Alau.
Oh my goodness.
Wow. Tope Alau having maybe his best offensive start to a game this season. This one wide open from Reynolds. Bounces off the net. No good.
You see a lot of deja vu. It just seems like last year, Max, Allow came off the bench and is playing super well. And once again, we're seeing it just like we saw last year.
Allow gives it up on that one, maybe hit a few times. Here's McLaughlin, will just pull up from mid-range, bounces in and out of the net, and rebounded by Heald for the Eagles.
The Eagles are doing a really good job. Just even the smallest closeout is bothering the Beavers, and that just makes anything so hard to do as Connor Heald.
Heald 3, good. And another timeout taken by the Beavers. Just under 4 minutes left. We're going to go ahead and take a quick one, too. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network. Back now, just under 4 minutes. It's a 13-point lead for the Eagles over the UMaine Farmington Beavers. As we getting ready to close out this first half, Sam, what do the Beavers need to do to pull themselves back into this game?
They're just going to get to their spots faster. We know that when it comes to Coach Caruso for the Eagles, they always have some sort of plan of attack, and they've been getting to their spots with ease against this Beavers defense, who's normally super physical and tight, and we've seen some physical play from them. But they have to beat the Eagles to their spots. We saw with Connor Heald, we saw with Allo, when they're not getting to their spots, we see holes in their defense.
And this one from McLaughlin, mid-range, no good. Who else? Allow with the rebound. And what a presence he has made. As Heald, wide open from 3. That time it doesn't fall. They were looking to give him the heat check. And this one inside. Reynolds is fouled on the shot. What are they going to say?
It's a block on Neff. They just called it.
So, as bodies hit the floor, Neff will be charged with a block.
Yeah, Neff pleading his case to the stripes, but that was the right call there. Did not have his feet fully set in the restricted area. And as a result, it will be Reynolds going to the line for 2.
And Reynolds doing a good job recognizing that and forcing himself into the paint. And he'll get to the line. First one's good.
Nothing the Beavers really need to do is that they're really just not hitting their open opportunities. They've had so many good looks on the offensive side of the ball. The Eagles defense, obviously, their presence makes it hard for any team to hit a shot, but you got to capitalize on those free shots when you have the chance to.
And he just did right there, going 2 for 2. Jason Reynolds averaging about 9 points per game coming off the bench. Moranta now at the stripe. Maybe tried to get a shot there was Neff. He'll get the ISO instead. Decides not to shoot it. Allow. Now he'll face some pressure under the net, and he gets it to go. Why not? Tope Allow having himself a career game.
11 points, 5 of 7 from the floor, 4 rebounds, 1 steal. Tope Allow is a big-time bucket getter.
And it's go time now for the Beavers. Would like to close this gap before we head into halftime. Here's Reynolds, and he'll draw the contact, and I believe they'll say it's a shot as he had the upward motion. So,
yep, they're gonna get Allow on the foul there. As soon as he came down, great recognition from Reynolds to throw the shot up and just try to get some sort of contact to get to the line for 2 more.
And defensively, the Eagles glad to have Riles Neff back, who we don't really see as much of a defensive player, but he does have his impact there. But Sam, one huge loss, Andre McCauley for this Eagles squad.
Yeah, and McCauley averaging 9 points this year, around 2 rebounds, 1 assist. Again, not eye-popping stats, but he's another one of those players that just delivers in so many different ways. For one thing, his defense is exceptional, one of the best defenders on the team, and his court vision also just opens up so many opportunities. And when he gets hot, it just opens up more space as Neff gets to his spot.
Neff hits the mid-range shot, and we certainly hope for the best recovery possible for Andre McCauley. Hope to see him back next year in his junior year. That shot's good! Simon Chadbourne, with the defender in his face, gets it to fall, and it's back to a 10-point game.
Wow, that was from Peyton Pritchard, Ridge, just to say so to myself. I mean, and that was really good defense, too. Maranta played it perfectly, had a great closeout. But as we talked about, it only takes one for a great shooter to get going.
And fading away, defender in his face, gets it to fall with ease. Like you said, as soon as you have that momentum off your first shot, you kind of ride that. Still a 10-point lead for the Eagles, so a little bit more work to do from the Beavers, but I'm sure with the momentum that they're riding right now, they feel a little bit more comfortable going into the second half.
Yeah, they're tightening it up really well on both sides of the floor. I mean, Chadbourne hit that incredible shot, and a lot of smarter shots being taken as well, but the defense has gotten so much better throughout this game, and that's really one thing we've seen from the Beavers. They might start out slow, but they really pick up their mojo as the game progresses. We've seen much more tight defense, a lot more calling out screens and on balls, a lot more double teams.
Allow from three. He hits it!
Oh, yeah!
Tope Allow! Why not?
14, 5 from 7, or excuse me, 6 for 8 now, and 2 for 2 from downtown. Tope Allow, just the Farmington killer right now.
Yeah, that one from Reynolds is good, working inside around defenders to keep it an 11-point game. Tope Allow having the best half of his life right now. You don't see him play offense as much, but they are getting it to him today, and it's paying off. Neff now dishes, Healed, inside, layup, and it's good, and the foul, and one.
And that's just amazing recognition from Connor Heald. Notice he had the wide open lane and the beautiful left-hand finish, scoops it up with the left hand, and has a chance for a three-point play. Connor Heald has really just come into his own, just being put into the starting lineup for the Eagles.
Not a lot of contact on that shot, admittedly, but enough for the refs to call it. And so a three-point opportunity here could put the Eagles up 14 as we've got just over a minute left in this first half. And as much as you can extend this lead, the better for the Eagles.
Yeah, and absolutely. And going back to what you said about Tope Allow and just not really being known for his offense in this first year at Husson, was with the injuries to Eric Gaylors and Andre McCauley and Riles Neff for a short time, as Chadbourne lets it go. And oh my God!
Oh my goodness!
Whoa! All the way from Mount Fukusaku. What was that?
Allow answering, no good. And now you got to expect there's going to be some deep defense on Chadbourne after he's hit from deep twice now. They get it to him. And as expected, Connor Heald plays him out far. That one's going to roll, and it's going the Eagles' way.
Yeah, Chadbourne started out super slow, over 5 to start out, but then has hit his last 3 shots, and he's just been playing so much better. And like we said, bro, his shooting just makes him so dangerous regardless of how he starts or how he finishes.
I'd say I'm a superstitious guy. I think that I always find myself thinking that the players can hear what announcers say, and they come around and they change it up, as we're seeing with Chadbourne and several others. Here's Heald, mid-range, good. Extends the lead back to 13.
Heald with a quick 12 points of his own as well. 5 of 7, 1 for 2 from deep. It's that young foundation as we talked about, Allow and Heald really stepping it up here on senior day.
Reynolds might have had that one slightly tipped by Moranta. Doesn't quite get there. Moranta, lob pass to Neff. They might just try and hold on to it here and go into the second half with a 13-point lead, or maybe take the final shot.
And see Coach Caruso just still being as vocal as ever. Getting the legal screen.
And that's a killer. They definitely wanted to get Moranta or Neff the final shot there. Instead, you're going to give the Beavers an opportunity to close the gap before halftime.
And notice how Chadbourne took a seat for a minute. It looked like Coach Newton wanted to send him out, but we'll see what happens here.
3 seconds left. It's McLaughlin fading away. Oh, and he almost gets it to go. Practically running out of bounds was McLaughlin. And so it's a 13-point lead, 43-30 for the Eagles going into the second half. Sam, what adjustments need to be made?
Well, if you're the Beavers, first of all, you really just got to keep tightening up your defense. The Eagles are taking advantage of just pretty much any single open opportunity they have. So one more closeout, one more box out, any little play like that will just turn the tide in your favor. And if you're the Eagles, just keep doing what you're doing. I mean, you're getting to your spots. Shots are falling right now, so as long as you just keep playing the way you're playing, you got nothing to worry about.
And the Eagles hope to bring out that same momentum that they started with in this first half. We'll catch you guys on the other side of halftime. This is Max Sturm and Sam Miller. We'll be back in 15 minutes. Second half action of this North Atlantic Conference matchup between the two heavyweights, the UMaine Farmington Beavers and the Husson University Eagles. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Max Sturm, joined alongside Sam Miller. Sam, these two teams are giving us a show early on, but let's talk about the Eagles and what they've been able to do in the paint.
Yeah, so they've been dominating the paint all throughout. They've had 18 paint points compared to the Beavers 12, and a lot of that has been due to the rebounding on the Eagles side of the ball. Have 21 rebounds, and 14 of them have been through Lewis and Maranta throughout this game. So those two guys really dominating the glass, and the Eagles, and as a result, being so dominant in the paint, it opens up opportunities for three, and we've seen some lights-out shooting from the Eagles to start out this game.
Yeah, Tope Alau with 14 points to start this one off, and back kind of to the rebounds. Scott Lewis, you know, he's big under the paint. He's going to get those boards, but you mentioned that Warren Caruso talked to you about how he thinks Jeremy Maranta is one of the best rebounders in the entire nation, and he's displaying why today.
Yeah, pound for pound, he talked about it during senior day activities, that pound for pound he believes that Maranta is one of the best rebounders, not only in the NAC, but in the country, and the numbers show that. I mean, last season, he was top 6 in the NAC in rebounds as a 6'1" guard from Brooklyn. I mean, he can definitely get it done. And think about it like this: there are so many big time players in our conference as well. You got someone like Kurt Hines, who is going to be one of the best players to ever play in the North Atlantic Conference, and Maranta is in the same. It's on the podium with him for rebounders in the NAC. So Maranta, of course, impacted the game more ways than one. But one thing I wanted to talk about again, not only Tope Alau having himself a very solid game, but Connor Heald once again showcasing his worth. 5 for 7 from the field, 1 for 2 from downtown, 12 points. He's just really having himself a game. And as we talked about, him, since he was inserted into the starting lineup for the Eagles, he's really turned some heads.
And Connor Heald, the freshman from Lakewood Ranch, Florida. Coach Warren Caruso, when he does his recruiting, he really likes to recruit from out of state. Only a few players from Maine on this roster. He really likes to go out and get talent from all over the country, and it's why they've been so dominant for a long time. Second half starts now. Flag will take the inbound, and the Beavers will start with the ball. And let's see what they did as far as halftime adjustments. Flag gets it to Michaud. Michaud inside, working against Maranta. Dishes it outside, and here's Dylan Griffin, whose presence has not really been felt early on. Out in the corner for Harriman. 3, good! And Harriman starts things off with a 3 to bring it back within 10. They'll actually only count it as a 2. Must have had his foot on the line.
And that's the kind of threat that Chad Bourne possesses all over the court. He drove to the lane, the defender stepped up and had Harriman wide open in the corner for the 2.
Abdul Rahman, mid-range, good! And every time he scores, Sam, the crowd absolutely loves it.
Yeah, he does not score a lot of points throughout the season, but like we talked about during our senior day presentation, the heart and soul of this Eagles team, he does everything right, and he's the kind of player you want to play with when you're out there.
And so a pass from Harriman, deflected by an Eagles player, out of bounds, so it stays with the Beavers. And Michaud tightly defended. Chad Bourne gets it to Griffin. Griffin working against Lewis to Flag. Flag cross behind the back, dishes it back outside for Chad Bourne. Great defense from the Eagles. 3 seconds on the shot clock, and they'll hold him off. Great defensive stand. They're heading back the other way. Maranta able to corral it. Full court toss. Abdul Rahman did not see it coming. And so an unforced error sends the ball back to the Beavers.
Yeah, it was a little confusion on the play. Abdul Rahman didn't know if that pass was going to him in the corner or Lewis on the block. Nonetheless, goes back to the Beavers.
So trying to work back from this deficit are the Beavers. They've got their guys out there that they want to score. McLaughlin, you got to expect he'll be in here. Easy for Griffin right there. And a great look from Flag at the top of the key to find him.
Yeah, just a bit of a lapse on that play. Griffin got behind the defense, and Lewis got a little bit lost trying to find his man. And now slowly but surely, the Beavers doing some damage.
11 points. Neff hits it from 3.
And right on cue, there's Riles Neff once again just slowing down any sort of momentum the Beavers have.
So that's kind of where they got to be a little bit better. Here's Chad Bourne, 3. Can't answer. Gets his own rebound. And potential jump ball coming up. It will be. And it goes the Eagles' way.
A great recognition from Neff to just tie up with Chadbourne. One thing I want to bring up is with Chadbourne, his release is just so nice on the three-point line. It always looks like all of his shots are going to go in.
And it's quick, too. He's able to get fast shots up. So, like you said, smart by Neff and Maranta to kind of corral around him and prevent him from a second chance opportunity. That one's stolen by Mashad, and he's brought down. Jeremy Maranta caught his shoulder. Maranta helps him up along with some other Beavers teammates. And Maranta will be fouled for that one. That's his third. So, interesting decision at the start of this second half to keep him in after his third foul. He's got to be careful now.
Yeah, with 3 fouls, there's only 2 left until he has to sit for the rest of the game. So Maranta will have to play a lot smarter. But if there's anybody that can do it, it is the graduate captain from Brooklyn, New York.
Griffin to Flag. Flag at the top of the key, working against Heald. Inside for Griffin, and he goes over Maranta and Lewis to put down 2.
Yeah, that's just amazing court awareness by Griffin. Notice he had the mismatch on Maranta, went up strong, and an easy 2 in the paint.
So Eagles still up 12 here. And a reaching foul by Mashad.
You can hear Coach Caruso just being incredibly vocal as usual on his team, just telling them to get to their spots and make sure that they're where they need to be on offense.
Neff alone at the top of the key, now joined by Heald, and following is Maranta. Lewis inside working against Griffin. This has been the matchup all night. Step back from Lewis. Bang! He gets it from mid-range.
His touch around the basket is just so pure. It doesn't matter who's on him in the paint.
Flag, 3, no good.
It doesn't matter who's on him in the paint. Lewis just knows how to play in the paint so well, and his touch is pretty.
So back up at the top now, Eagles and Neff. Getting Scott Lewis a little bit more involved in this second half. Connor Heald, the freshman that we talked about, seeing a lot of minutes today after some spectacular games these last couple weeks. Neff dishes it to Lewis, but guarded tightly by Griffin. He shoots over, and it's blocked by Griffin. Griffin rebounds it. He's heading back the other way, working against Abdul Rahman, and he says no way, but a foul on Abdul Rahman. Not sure where that one came from.
Yeah,
Sam.
the Eagles faithful in disbelief. They thought that Abdul Rahman got a clean steal, and it looked like it from up here. Nonetheless, the stripe side otherwise, it'll be Beaver side out.
Here's Chadbourne. Now Mashad. Mashad spins inside. Griffin goes from 3. Off the glass, no good. Connor Heald rebounds, working quickly down the court now are the Eagles. And now they'll settle with Neff. Maranta at the top. He's open. He shoots. He scores. From 3, Jeremy Maranta.
10 points, 4 of 6 from the field, 2 for 2 from downtown. Just another day in the office for Jeremy Maranta.
So Harriman's back working against Abdul Rahman. Griffin looking. He's just one-on-one with Lewis. Abdul Rahman comes to help out, but there's a foul on Lewis, and Griffin heads back to the line.
It's so impressive how, of a man of his size and strength, how fast Griffin moves as a post player. It just seems like he can get to a spot with 0 effort, and we saw it right there. Got to where he wanted to on Lewis, and that's a chance for some freebies.
An exciting matchup between the two of them tonight. 2 immovable forces working against each other. As Griffin misses the first one. He's got 1 shot left. Riles Neff's going to play in the backcourt to prevent a potential, or to maybe have a cherry pick. He'll come back up now. And he'll maintain possession of the ball. And it'll run through him. 15:26 remaining. Bounce pass to Lewis. Again working against Griffin. Here's Neff. Fader over the net. And now Chadbourne's got it.
Yeah, that was great. That was really good defense by Flag on the other end. It looked like he knew that Neff was looking for that fadeaway, so he could tested him appropriately.
Chadbourne with great patience under the net. Fakes Scott Lewis into a shot. Just spins around and lays it up with one hand.
Yeah, that's the reason why patience is a virtue. Chadbourne, a slow start, but now 11 points, and it's helping his Beavers team trying to come back into this game.
Maranta It bounces in and out of the net. And now an opportunity here, 3-on-2, under the net, flag, fake, good.
Yeah, once again, flag, great recognition down low. He knew that Heald was coming up trying to block him out. Just stayed patient, stayed calm, waited for him to come back down with an easy bunny underneath.
Timeout taken here. We'll just keep it on the broadcast with you guys. And the Eagles still with a 12-point lead. But the Beavers are scoring, but they just can't stop the Eagles when they're in the offensive possession.
Yeah, that's really just an Achilles heel when you think about it. Just kind of a double-edged sword. You really start playing well on offense, but then your defense just allows looks from Riles Neff or Jimmy Maranta just to get going from three. And you saw Abdul Rahman pull up with a jump shot. I mean, they're playing physical, they're playing scrappy, like we expect from Farmington. Just need to be a little bit more tighter when closing out those shooters.
And it's the Eagles still up 12, as we said. The scoring in this second half just about dead even. 11 for the Beavers and 10 for the Eagles. Start this second half. And coming out of the timeout, there will need to be some defensive adjustments for the Beavers. And you wonder how long they're going to wait before they start putting a little bit of pressure in the backcourt.
I mean, we probably should be seeing it soon. I mean, if there's anything we know about head coach Quinn Newton for Farmington is that, like Caruso, really good at adapting to his opponent's lineups and skill sets. Would not be surprised if we see Chad Bourne, Michaud, Flag, and the rest of the guards trying to go at Maranta and Neff on defense and just trying to make him as uncomfortable as possible.
Right up near the logo now is Neff. Gets it to the left wing to Heald, and they swing it around. Allows back in. He's got 14 in this one. Thought about shooting. He's going to pass it out. Great hands from Neff to palm that one. He shoots it from three. He's got it.
And they're going to foul it down low. Looks like, believe that was Michaud. No, that was Braden St. Pierre who got tied up with Allow. So they're going to count the basket, and Allow will get to the chance for two.
Riles Neff getting things going now. Normally, you see him be more involved in the offense. He's coming back off of an injury, so maybe taking it a little bit easier. But you know, as it comes down to the end of these games, they rely on him a lot. And not that we're even close to the end of this game right now, Sam, but they're definitely starting to hint at the fact that they're going to use him a lot more.
Yeah, and that last shot was just, that's definitely can take the wind out of your sails as Heald steps back.
And Heald with a pretty move, regardless, it does not go in. Had the defender flying towards the end line there.
But yeah, with Riles Neff, a shot like that can really just take the wind out of your sails. And then, of course, the foul on top of that on Allo down low. I mean, just got a little bit sloppy on Farmington's part, but this team, we've seen greater comebacks happen before. And if there's anybody that can do it, it is this resilient Beavers team.
Kind of a surprising margins of scoring in this one. Expected this one to be a lot closer, but this Eagles squad is talented. Beavers are going to have to find a way to slow them down. Neff from three again. No good. And Allow doesn't get it to go. He tried bouncing it off the legs of a Beavers player.
Yeah, he got tied up with St. Pierre in the paint. And Allow, as we know him to do, is just synonymous with those hustle plays. And as you mentioned, just tried to rebound the ball off of St. Pierre's lower half. Nothing happening from them there, though.
Ty Henke off and Scott on, and Scott Lewis off. Down low now is Reynolds. Reynolds with a fader, and he gets it to fall. Like we've talked about, this Beaver squad has found ways to score. Now they just need to find out how to stop the Eagles on offense.
Yeah, great little shimmy move, fadeaway shot from Reynolds. Just took the matchup on Henke. Just knew where he wanted to go and did it with perfect execution.
And Maranta has to force it out of there. 11 seconds on the shot clock now. They still have got some time to move it around. Neff's got it, now 5. He'll take the shot from deep and hits it! Riles Neff!
Sweet, merciful hoo-ha. What a shot from Riles Neff.
He is an assassin from the three-point line and beyond. And now Allow with the steal, heading back down the court. They're going to try and pour it on now. Heald for 2. And timeout called by the Beavers.
And just like we saw in that first half, it takes one for a shooter to get going. That all started with Riles Neff hitting that big-time three from all the way outside. Debts are due, it's time to pay, and the Grim Reaper's name is Riles Neff.
And we'll be right back after a quick break. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network. .12:24 remains in this game between the two top teams of the NAC Conference on the men's side of things. It's going to come down to the wire. The score, however, is pretty alarming considering the fact that we thought this was going to be a pretty close game.
Yeah, the history between these two teams, all of their games have been so close. Their last two have been separated by just 13 points in total. But today has just been an all-around clinic for the Eagles. Offensively, defensively, everything has been falling for them, and it's been showing why they are the top team in the East Division of the NAC.
Some tight man defense now from the Eagles, trying to prevent any chance of a comeback, and a foul on Henke. He thought that he had the steal there.
Yeah, the call was a little bit delayed, too. It looked like they didn't call it until Henke got the ball and started running up the court. But nonetheless, it will be a foul. It'll stay here with Farmington.
That's his second foul on the day. Hasn't seen a lot of time. Scott Lewis has played the majority of this game, but he's certainly a valuable backup for him when Scott Lewis needs a rest.
Also today, there was no Gil Matondo on the court for the Eagles either. So the Eagles, as that one's good to go, the Eagles doing a lot of damage inside without one of their biggest paint players on the perimeter.
That's a good point, Sam. They certainly miss his ability, but they're fighting hard right now for this Eagles squad. And Neff dishes it back outside. Henke bounces off the rim, no good. Allow with the rebound, but a foul under the net. We'll see, it might be a over the back foul on Allow. He's arguing his case.
Yep, and you see Coach Caruso being like, you know what, it's fine, just get back, don't worry about it, move on.
Scoreboard gave that one to Henke, but that's just not the case. That was definitely on Allow. And so back to the Beavers now. 11:29 remains. Here's Chadbourne. Chadbourne double teamed. Moranta, the primary defender, fades away, and he gets that one. He draws contact there. Moranta can't believe it.
That one was so close, too. Moranta played it beautifully the entire possession. You notice what the Beavers love to do is they like to get the ball at the top of the key and run Chadbourne off a screen for a three opportunity. But Moranta read it like a book and just played exceptional defense. There might have seemed to be a little bit of contact there. I don't know if that was enough to really call that a foul, but nonetheless, Chadbourne gets to the line.
Contact or not, Chadbourne played it well, falling backwards, hit the floor. A lot of the time that is going to draw a foul. 61-46 is the score. A long way to go for this Beavers squad, but also a lot of time. Some substitutions made. Scott Lewis is back in, him and Henke both on the court now. Maybe trying to play some more intense and effective interior defense.
Yeah, notice how whenever Lewis goes to the bench, Griffin's taking off the court as well. And when Lewis checks in, Griffin checks back in as well.
They don't want either of those two players as Neff takes mid-range. Allow under the net!
Oh!
And he flexes on Flag under the net and one. And
Allow. Talk your talk and walk your walk, mister. That's a big boy play in the paint.
Allow. So good under the net, getting those rebounds off of the missed shots. And somehow he's so effectively able to put them back up, this time drawing contact as it falls. So chance for a three-point play here. And he gets it. What a game for him.
Yeah, 17 points, ultra efficiency from 3 and in the field, 5 rebounds, 2 of which being offensive. Allow it just, once again, just turning up against these Beavers.
Griffin with a pretty move. Just moving Scott Lewis out of the way. He gets one to fall there.
Yeah, that was immaculate by Griffin. Just was not bothered at all by Lewis's presence in the paint and just put it up with ease.
And who else but Allow bringing it down the court. He's going to feed it to Lewis. Lewis has that one-on-one matchup. Will he take advantage of it? Loses the ball but gets it back. Lewis under the net. No good. Good defense from Griffin that time. Quickly back down the other side is Chadbourne. He's maybe looking for a three-point play. He'll shoot it from mid-range. That one's tipped. I think Allow might have got a hand on it.
He sure did. Tope Allow using that Drew Holiday level defense to read the court and be at the right place at the right time.
And losing the ball briefly was Neff. He regains control, and he's played by St. Pierre. Allow back there. Henke fakes the shot. Step back. No good. He hasn't been able to get a shot to fall yet in this one. As St. Pierre now at the top. Bounce pass to Griffin. Griffin hands it back to Chadbourne. This is who the offense needs to run through. Him and Griffin. Griffin inside. That one won't go. Scott Lewis with the board on a 2-on-1.
Yeah, Griffin read it right all the way down as Allow gets to the paint.
Allow, they're going to call blocking foul. Wasn't able to entirely set his feet. Allow was trying to take that one to the net.
Yeah, 4 fouls now on Braden St. Pierre coming off the bench for the Beavers. Definitely, of course, something you don't want. When you're already down in the game, the last thing you need is a hit to your depth. And going back to that play with Griffin, gotta really like his recognition on the play. Just noticed that Lewis gave him a little bit too much space and just took it up, but was not able to convert.
So now Neff rolls off the screen. He shoots. That one was tipped. Foul. And 2 shots coming up for Riles Neff.
Yeah, Flagg knew where he was going, too. Flagg has done a lot of that in this game. He seems like sometimes he just beats the shooters to their spots because he knows what they want to do. But that time, just a bit too much contact on the All-American and a chance for 2 here.
An underrated skill of some of these players is their ability to draw the contact. Sometimes you got to take the risk as he knocks down the first. Sometimes you got to take the risk of maybe missing a shot in hopes that you can draw that contact if the defense has been aggressive like that all game. Hits the second 2 for 2. And it's 66-48. Eagles are pulling away at this point. Their defense has stepped it up. And the Beavers, it is go time if you're UMaine Farmington.
Yeah, the clock is your enemy for the rest of the game. You have to play smart and you have to play intense to keep up this, to match the play of the Eagles in this game.
Flagg tried to thread the needle down in the paint to Dylan Griffin. Unsuccessful, but they retained possession. And McLaughlin is back in the game. First time we've really seen him. He'll shoot a 3, bounces off the back iron. And now Neff gets a little tripped up, gets it to Lewis. Neff at the logo. Lewis giving him the option of a screen. Henke inside, spins. Can't get that one to fall. He's having a rough day from the field.
Yeah, 0 for 4 in this game is Henke. Thankfully, the rest of the Eagles have been playing so well that they've just been able to just do it with so much ferocity.
And Riles Neff hit in the face and draws the foul.
Yeah, Flagg a little bit wild with his elbows there, just trying to, of course, nothing intentional by any means. Neff had a hand in there, and Flagg was just trying to wrestle the ball away from him. Nonetheless, just nailed the Neff right in the head.
And so Eagles get back possession. Like you said, the clock is the enemy for the Beavers. It is go time. Surprised not to see that full court press right now. It's a long road, but they've got to go now. Here's Heald, steps back from 3, bang!
Oh, yeah! I mean, what else is there to say about Connor Heald? I mean, we talked about everything that he does, but this has to be definitely one of his best shooting games as an Eagle throughout his time here.
He's well deserving of that starting spot in Andre McCauley's absence. Has played incredibly well. McLaughlin gets one to fall. So it's 51-69. As a timeout is taken. Don't go anywhere, folks. You're watching the Husson Eagles Sports Network. First place in the conference on the line between the Eagles and the Beavers of UMaine Farmington. Eagles out to a massive lead early on, or rather later on, as we're just over 7.5 minutes remaining in the second half of action and ultimately the game. So it is go time, desperation time for the Beavers.
Yeah, and you gotta give a lot of credit to the Eagles too, because the Beavers have had some plays where they've been able to come back into it, but the Eagles every single time on the other end have just responded in a massive way.
And Neff can't get that one to fall. Broke the ankles of Braden St. Pierre at the top. St. Pierre was looking for a foul. And Zach McLaughlin's going to pick up a foul on the shot. Riles Neff will be sent back to the line.
Yeah, we talked about the play of Tope Alau and Connor Heel throughout this game, but Riles Neff having a very solid game of his own. With these 2 free throws, that puts him now at 16 points on the game, 5 of 10 from the field, 3 for 5 from downtown, and 3 for 3 at the free throw line with a rebound and 4 assists. Neff is one of those players who can give you 20 points, but does so in a very quiet way.
And a chance to go up 20 here, and he does. 20-point game between the Eagles and the UMaine Farmington Beavers. And hope starting to diminish for this Beavers squad. Allow Abdul Rahman played back. Here's a quick play from Mashaud. He gets that one to fall, a reverse layup.
Yeah, great recognition from Mishoud. Had it. Abdul Rahman on his hip and just floated it up with the left hand.
Abdul Rahman back in the game after taking some time out. He just hands it off to Allow and then to Lewis. Allow gets it back. He'll shoot mid-range. That one's off. You haven't heard that much tonight, as he's got 17 points in this game. Abdul Rahman had that one locked up, but Mashaud almost made a play on it. Here's Allow. Abdul Rahman, whistle before. He might have been out of bounds.
Yeah, just stepped out on that step back 3. He won that one so bad too. Just didn't realize where he was on the court. Turnover for the Eagles.
And boy, would this place have erupted if he hit his second 3 of the game.
Would have measured on the Richter scale, that's for sure.
Oh my goodness. Eagles faithful showed up today for both games on Senior Day. You'd think it's a playoff atmosphere the way that these 2 games have been. A shot from Chadbourne's no good. Rebounded by Lewis initially and swatted out by Griffin. So, all in all, Eagles will still have possession. And now you see that full court press, perhaps too little too late.
And Allow played that so perfectly. Notice that there was no pressure at half court, so he just turned on the jets and got into the wide open court on the space and decided to just handle the ball himself.
Allow one-on-one. Scott Lewis now at the top of the key with Griffin. Griffin, a great defender from all parts of the court. And I think we're going to see a foul here. See what the call is. Might have been away from the ball.
So they got Griffin, when Lewis was in his shooting motion, just kind of swatted his hand down. That means Lewis will go to the line for 2 once again.
Interesting. I don't think there was any contact. Maybe it was just the gesture enough to blow the whistle. Certainly not what the Beavers needed at this point in the game. So Michelle will come out. And Jason Reynolds will re-enter the game. Chadbourne is down on the other side of the court, potentially waiting for a chance to shoot from 3. He's lethal from out there. We've seen him hit 2 very deep threes already in this one. Here's Reynolds now, guarded by Lewis. And Allo comes away with it. He dunks it on the other end. Surprised that there's not going to be a call there for that. Beavers coach wanted one.
Yeah, Lau initially poked it away from Griffin. It looked like he had a clean steal, but too much skin seen from the stripes. And Griffin now a chance to add to his day. He's a quiet 10 points, 4 for 10 from the field. 0 of 3 from 3 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals.
Doesn't hit that one, but here's Chadbourne, bounces in and out of the net. That's been the story of the night for the Beavers from the 3-point line. They've had several sweet threes, but at other times it just bounces in and out. Kind of talked about that in the last game, Sam, just how the luck of the draw doesn't always go your way on those shots, regardless of how well you draw up a play, how wide open you are. Yeah,
it really just unfortunate too, because we've seen the Beavers just have so many good looks from in and out on the court. I mean, most of the threes, I mean, in this game alone, the Beavers only 5 for 23 shooting threes. Both threes coming from McLaughlin and Chadbourne, as Lewis hits the first in a 1-and-1. But yeah, in this day and age, 5 3-pointers in a game off 24 attempts is not going to get it done.
Will not. As the Eagles looking to just close this one out, a 20-point lead, a chance for 21 right here. He gets it. Scott Lewis playing a great game in this second half. Was not as involved early on. They've gotten to him a little bit more. As Reynolds is guarded by Heald. And McLaughlin gets behind Abdul Rahman and puts it in for 2. 19-point game now. Got to move quick. Play some aggressive defense here. Here's Heald in the corner. Then Allow gets it outside. Here's Henke from 3. He gets it.
There we go, Ty.
He gets his first shot and points of the night. After a tough start, I believe it was 0-4 he went from the field. And this one's going to stay with the Beavers. Lewis felt like he maybe got hit in the face. Henke out. Henke and Abdul Rahman are out for Maranta and Neff, who are widely considered around here the closers, making sure there's no chance the Eagles come back.
And right on cue, Neff just pokes it away from Griffin.
And Allow now from 3. Can he do it again? No. Rebounded by Lewis. That one's no good as well. Allow now playing some tough defense. Gets through the pick. McLaughlin driving. Spin around. Fader. No good. Maranta with the board. Here's Neff now. Taking it down slow. Trying to use as much of the clock as they can. Allow now. Gets it to Lewis. Lewis to Heald. Heald to Maranta. Good ball movement. Using up the time here. 12 seconds on the shot clock. Here's Neff. He won't shoot it. Lewis from 3. No good. Neff the board. Oh, he was looking for Maranta under the net. He wasn't looking, and a defender was there. Allow with the swat. Nonetheless, it comes back for Dylan Griffin. And a timeout taken by the Beavers.
Yeah, I mean, on the other end of this floor, I mean, Neff had a wide open look right down in the restricted area, just tried to be a little too unselfish, trying to dump it down to Maranta. As a result, Beavers get it back on the offensive side. Griffin gets 2. At this point in the game, I mean, it's hard to say whether or not, you can't really say it's over because of how basketball is played nowadays. I mean, anything can realistically happen, especially with the 3-pointers. We saw that Chadbourne had just lit it up. It just threw it up from Steph Curry range and completely nailed it. So never say never in NCAA District III basketball. And a team like the Beavers, who are known for just coming back from very, very impossible odds, it'll be interesting to see in these final 4 minutes how the Beavers will come back in this game.
Will certainly take something just short of a miracle to get there. Like you said, though, basketball is a game of minutes, and there's 3.5, a little over 3.5 of those remaining. So they've got a little bit of time to work with, but they essentially have to play lockdown defense and lights out shooting. And they've got to get the steal here. Full court press now. They are just going to let Neff kind of make his way down. No, very aggressive defense. I'm not sure I'd agree with that if you're trying to get this ball back. Neff's going to hold on to it. Maranta now to Heel, just passing it along the key. And that one nearly stolen. Lewis is going to drive inside. He's stopped. He'll put up the shot anyway. Maranta with a great board. Maranta under the net. Maranta swatted away by McLaughlin. And now here's your chance if you're the Beavers. You got to get it going. Under the net is Reynolds. Reynolds might have had a shot there. Gets it out to Chadbourne. They know they need threes. Chadbourne not going to have a chance there. Reynolds from three, however, and it's off the mark. And you got to go now if you're the Beavers. They're going to start fouling.
Yeah, at this point, that's probably all you can do. I mean, the way the Eagles have been playing on offense, it's really hard. It's been really hard for the Beavers just to slow down any sort of momentum they've had. And as a result, looks like it'll be Neff going to the line.
And
it's going to be Allow going to the line.
Allow will head to the line. Allow having one of his best games to date with this Eagles squad. Came out firing in the first half. 2 3-pointers. He gets that first free throw to fall. You got to love it for the sophomore, having one of his best games after being asked to essentially take the role of Andre McCauley.
Yeah, I mean, with all the injuries to McCauley and Ehlers, Neff for a bit, and Henke for a bit, Allow really just really turned his game around, going from just kind of a 3-and-D guy to an all-around complete player. He's torched you from downtown. He can pull up from anywhere with a jump shot. His handles are much improved. His vision is improved as well. Allow now with 19 points, and it couldn't have come at a better time and in a better game.
We're going to have another substitution here. Scott Lewis will exit the game. Jason Van Beveren is in the game, seeing his first minutes. He's played in 7 games total. Sophomore out of Bristol, Connecticut. Shot there is good from Dan Parrott, also seeing his first minutes. So you see both teams bringing in players that don't normally see a lot of time.
And to see her on the sideline, we got Charlie Katsiafika set to check in as well as Maranta gets it down low.
Maranta works around defenders. Why not? It goes in off the contested layup. An 80-burger from the Eagles in this one.
And Maranta once again just showcasing why he's one of the best guards in the North Atlantic Conference. That's now 12 points for him and 11 rebounds. Once again, just having himself a phenomenal showing.
Double-double for Jeremy Maranta today. Having himself, we almost come to expect that kind of game from Jeremy Maranta now, but you still have to give credit there as having an incredible game. Double-doubles are not easy, especially in college basketball.
And look at this now, expecting ovation for these two guys, Jeremiah Grissom and Charlie Katsiafika, as 2 fan favorites here in the Newman Gymnasium.
You love to see these guys get some time on the court. They don't really get to see it during the first half, or really even what would be the first 3 quarters of a game. But in that last quarter of the game, if they're leading by enough, which they're up by 21 right now, they get them involved. Allow, why not? 21 on the night now. Just incredible from Allow tonight.
He's just so eloquent in the way he just controls the paint and just the way he just controls the game. It doesn't matter what he does or how he does it. He's making an impact in some shape or form.
Katsiafikas now finds under the net a teammate who's not able to get that one to go. It was Grissom. And now Katsiafikis gets the ball again. Allow now. Gets it back to him. They want them to shoot. 1:10 remaining. And a timeout taken by the Eagles.
I think Coach Caruso did that, just did that to put in Bryce Tackett and Jay Higgins into the game, just to bring in some more reserves from the bench. We'll continue play shortly.
Maybe not necessarily a timeout, but enough to get all their guys in. Like I said, Bryce Tackett's in the game now. You'd love to see these guys get some action. Here's Grissom from three. No good. Off the glass. Grissom 6'5", shooting from three. Did not get that one to fall. Here's a shot from Parent. An air ball. And Katsiafikis now heading down the court with 40 seconds remaining. 40 seconds remaining for the Eagles until they are solely at the top of the NAC conference. Grissom again's going to shoot it. That one goes!
Boom! What a great shot for Grissom!
Grissom gets that one to fall. The bench loves it.
And you hear the ovation from our Eagles faithful here, loving to see Grissom get on the court and knock down a big-time three.
Parent's going to take one now to answer. No good. Grissom with the rebound. 14 seconds. Who's going to get the final shot, if anyone?
Yeah, it looks like Katsiafikis is going to take it out.
Oh, you know he wants to, but not going to. And so the Eagles soar to the top of the NAC Conference in an 86-60 victory over the UMaine Farmington Beavers. Sam, what a game for this Eagles squad.
Wire to wire, it was absolute dominance from the very beginning. The Eagles started out this game 4 or 5 shooting from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. And the Beavers, while they had their chances to respond, they kept it within 6 for the most part. In this second half, the Eagles blew the lead wide open. And now there is a real top dog now at the top of the Eastern Conference standings in the NAC division.
And a chance to go and play the rest of these games. One more home game next weekend versus Thomas, but several more in-conference opponents left to play. And Sam, if they're able to close these games out the way that they did today, we could be back here in just a few short weeks for some playoff basketball.
That would sure be a dream come true. I mean, look at the balanced attack from the Eagles today. Jimmy Maranta, 12 points. You had Riles Neff with 17, Lewis with 8, Abdul Rahman with 5. Yeah, Keeld was 17 as well, but the big one today, once again, was the play of Tope Alau. 21 points, 8 for 13 shooting from the field, 2 for 13 beyond the arc, 3 for 3 from the free throw line, 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals, 1 block in 27 minutes. Tope Alau putting on a show for the Eagles faithful today.
He had himself a day, as well as many others on this Eagles squad in the absence of Andre McCauley and Eric Ehlers, who has not played all season. Riles Neff had a great game coming back after 3 games missing. They were sure happy to have him back. And this squad, this Eagles squad, looks to be rolling as we get down to the end of this season, this regular season anyway. Well, folks, it's always a pleasure to have you join us here on the Husson Eagles Sports Network. For Max Sturm and Sam Miller, have a great night.